Hey guys, Tyler here. Just looking at some stuff real quick. I'll be back in a second. I have to do a thing, but we'll be back on in a minute. I have to do a thing. So I'll be back in a second. Sneeze. Okay.
There, perfectly balanced. See what scholarships you may qualify for. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
There's a live look in Holland, not Kalamazoo. I was trying to change the banner really quick, but nonetheless, I want to show you out there last night, hourly looping mode of 4 hours. Notice how strong the thunderstorms were in Wisconsin last night. Once they came across the lake, they kind of fizzled out a bit. So we still have a few leftover clusters of showers and thunderstorms, most of which are currently over Lake Michigan. Not severe, though. But look at all the thunderstorm activity upstream, the storm reports throughout Wisconsin, all the way back, kind of arcing right towards northern Iowa and also the Minnesota area. We're going to have to watch this area once again later on, especially in this late afternoon into the evening hours, as whatever pops over there or initiates over there very well will likely move across Lake Michigan, just like we saw this morning. Fortunately, we didn't have any severe weather reports here late last night or early this morning. We did have a couple reports around Hastings yesterday evening. Nonetheless, here's a current look at the radar. The strongest storm's actually heading towards Saginaw Bay. You can see this mostly light rain showers in around the Grand Rapids metro area, especially towards Granville, Jenison. You can follow that up to.
Okay, it's enough of that. Really, 5 years. I didn't know I had that long for.
Always 5 minutes before get registered now. No way, I'm not gonna do it. Davey! I ain't got time for this. Bye, have a good day. What? This is millions to one. Hey, what's up?
Everything is up.
Wow, cool. Welcome into you. So, you want to get a drink or something?
What the? Hello. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? It's having some fun right now. It's having some fun right now. It's 65 degrees outside, and it's just relaxing time right now. So that's about it. We're gonna look at some stuff, and that's about it. Yeah, just having some fun right now. Just looking at some stuff and seeing what's going on. Not much is really happening right now. Just look at some random stuff, and oh, that's not that bad. Friends of mine sent me some weird videos over the years, and I look through them, and that's it. But yeah, not really much is happening. Just little nice spring day, almost like feel like summer. That's about it. Ooh, Valeris 14. He's having some fun. That's about it. He's having some fun. Yeah, I know, but it's still dark out, but it rains, so yeah, it's gonna be rainy all day, and tomorrow it's gonna rain, so not really much is happening. Just relaxing. Gonna figure out what to make for lunch later, and that's about it. I know the wait I got like an hour before I have to make lunch, so yeah. But he's having fun right now.
Back in 1981,
We'll see what happens, but today, right now, we're just having some fun.
launched two identical spacecraft, Venera 13 and Venera 14.
The cat's still behind me. Okay.
Launched just 5 days apart. The objective of the mission was to study the dense atmosphere and mysterious surface of our neighboring planet, Venus. Both of the descent probes carried a payload of scientific equipment, most of which was sealed in an airtight pressure vessel designed to withstand the scorching temperature and crushing atmospheric pressure that can be found on Venus. Surprisingly, each probe exceeded its planned design life, while sending back important information about the shrouded planet's surface conditions.
Back in a second, I just have to
The
think
last
something.
probes were able to capture incredible color panoramic images of their surroundings and drill into the Venusian ground to analyze the dry, black, rocky soil that they landed upon, revealing the mysterious planet's desolate environment. But what many of you
Actually,
may not
maybe
know
we'll do that.
is that both of the probes were equipped with microphones that were designed to record atmospheric wind noise in an effort to measure wind speed. Unfortunately, a lot of the data received was still unavailable online, and so I could not find the Venera 13 sound recording. However, the Venera 14 sound recording is available, allowing us to listen to the historic moment that the ambitious probe landed and captured the eerie sounds that surrounded it. So sit back, plug in your headphones, and immerse yourself into a 14-year-old soundscape that was captured on the surface
You're good, baby.
of the hellish planet.
You're good, baby. I just want to. It's relaxing to be here, guys. It's gonna be down here. It's gonna have fun, you guys. Just having some fun right now, relaxing. That's what we're doing right now. My baby. I'll have to grab one more thing real quick. I just have to grab a thing real quick. That's it. I have to grab my cell phone. Yeah, that too. It's a little cold. It's My baby. Boo, my baby. Gotta look up 2 things, and that's it. Just having a good time this lovely morning. That's about it. So we'll look up something real quick here, and that's it. Look at 2 things, and that's it. My baby boy, my big baby boy. But yeah, we're just having some fun right now. Look at a couple things real quick, then do something else, and that's it. I just have to double check and show me the right thing real quick. But yeah, just having some fun right now. SQL 4075. I'll look into that later. But right now, we're just going to have a little bit of fun right now.
This amazing audio recording was only the second time the surface of another planet had been heard, the first being Venera 13, as I mentioned before. You can hear what sounds like eerie white noise or static in the background and the gentle blow of the Venusian wind. You can also hear the probe as it completes its procedures, such as the muffled bang of the camera lens cap being removed by pyrotechnic charges, the mechanical groan of the drilling operation, and even the scattered rumble of soil being dropped into the analyzation chamber. Although the sound quality isn't great, you are nonetheless hearing the captured noise of another world. Later analysis of the data determined that the average wind speed on the surface of Venus is around 0.3 and 0.5 meters per second, which is 0.98 and 1.64 feet per second, revealing that the dense atmosphere at the surface is surprisingly calm, and that the scorched landscape is almost untouched by wind erosion. Amongst all of the achievements made over the years by space agencies around the world, the exploration of Venus in the 1970s and 80s by the Soviet Union is by far one of the most impressive. What landing probes like Venera 14 accomplished back then is nothing short of amazing. Not only did it survive for nearly an hour in an extremely hostile environment, but it also sent back fundamental scientific data and provided the people of Earth the chance to look and listen to an alien world, as if you were there, standing on its surface at that very moment.
You sleep, baby, you.
If you would like to learn more about Venus and its scalding surface, then head on over to my channel, where there are loads more videos to watch. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you enjoyed this video, however, and make sure to check back soon because there is plenty more to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Wendy, don't worry. Your makeup is stuck like glue. I was today years old when I learned you can make egg fried rice using Ben's original ready rice in under 3 minutes. Scramble an egg in the pot. Add carrots and green onions. Microwave for 2 minutes. Mars Chef Janet approved.
This is the final space probe to ever land on the planet Venus. It's actually the last one in a long line of attempts made by the Soviet Union to explore the most dangerous place in our solar system. This is what the Soviets found when they landed on Venus and why they never went back.
Waste
The
of
real
money.
mystery of Venus is how it can be so fundamentally similar to the Earth and yet so catastrophically different. While Mars tends to get all of the attention right now in the 21st century, back in the early days of the space race,
15 minutes of totally useless about GTA Vice City that you're definitely going to forget by the time you've finished watching this video. Although you guys keep telling me that this stuff is actually really interesting. For some really bizarre reason, the limousine in Avery Carrington's cutscenes transforms to a bright, horrible green color. I don't really know why they did this, but my guesses are it had something to do with the angle in the cutscene looking through the rear window. Usually when injured, you can pick up health pickups across the map to heal yourself free of charge, but this is America, and healthcare ain't free. So if you finished watching this video, although you guys keep telling me that this stuff is actually really interesting, for some really bizarre reason, the limousine in Avery Carrington's cutscenes transforms to a bright, horrible green color. I don't really know why
I remember
they
that.
did this, but my guesses are it had something to do with the angle in the cutscene looking through the rear window. Usually when injured, you can pick up health pickups across the map to heal yourself free of charge, but this is America, and healthcare ain't free. So if you do the same at a hospital, the player will actually get charged $20 per heal. And that's kind of cool, but you're probably wondering, what happens if Tommy tries to do this when he's actually got no money? Well, as it turns out, the hospital will refuse treatment, and you're not able to get the help. So Vice City was originally planned to be an expansion pack for GTA 3, but then it eventually became its own fully fledged game. Tommy Vercetti in the beta version wore originally a much darker t-shirt, and his face looked totally different. There's a lot of changes which we'll discuss later in the video, but some additional things to note is that the original police cars were actually going to be white and not green like they are in the final game. And the Infamous was actually going to look a lot closer to the Lamborghini Countach that it's based on in real life, with a much more stylish rear to the vehicle, which you may recognize looking very close to what it looks like in real life. Deep in the game's code, fans have discovered an unused phone call dialogue from a cut character named Mr. Moffat. In the dialogue, Moffat begs Tommy for help, saying he's escaped the coup again and will soon be tracked down. It appears that Moffat was intended to call Tommy after all asset missions were completed, possibly triggering a mission where Tommy helps him flee from the police. This was likely replaced by the mission No Escape, where you break Cam Jones out of jail. Unfortunately, no model or audio remains for Mr. Moffat. Interestingly though, however, is that Moffat is the real last name of Sam and Dan Houser's mother, the Houser brothers who are the founders of Rockstar Games. Another cut mission involved Avery Carrington. According to the leftover text in the game, Avery would call Tommy to request a chauffeur job, picking up his representative and taking him to a place called the Gator Keys. Now, the Gator Keys was said to be outside of Vice City. Gator Keys does not appear anywhere on the final map, and it's presumably an area that was cut from the game, likely meant to be in a swampy area that matches that of the Everglades in real life south of Miami. And if you need any further proof, there's a file in game called LOD Everglades Grass that looks like this, and you can even see that texture present from far away in certain areas of the map. If Tommy decides to buy every property, he'll need $441,000 in total in order to purchase 7 safe houses and 10 assets across the game. Interestingly though, all 7 purchases of safe houses only total $41,000. $400,000 of it comes from the assets. Interestingly though, the mobile version of Vice City halves the prices of all assets. The Printworks only costs $35,000 instead of $70. The Malibu Club $60 instead of $120, and well, you get the point. In Tommy's Ocean View Hotel suite, there's actually a poster on the wall featuring Claude from GTA 3. You might not have noticed it because it's in this comic style artwork, which kind of hides the fact that it's Claude. But if you're familiar with GTA 3, it's pretty easy to see that that's exactly what this is. On Ocean Beach, there's a video game shop called Rockstar Video Games with some GTA 3 character art in the shop front window. It's a pretty cool Easter egg, and Rockstar Games do like to hide these small self-promotion Easter eggs in all the Grand Theft Auto games, and just hidden in tiny quirky areas that you wouldn't think to look. The Interglobal film asset was actually supposed to have one extra mission that got cut from the game as well. The code in the definitive edition files revealed an unused mission where director Steve Scott would ask Tommy to film a car chase because the studio's budget couldn't cover a real one. Steve leaves a special car at the airport for Tommy to pick up and likely cause some havoc for the cameras, resulting in him getting a wanted level and essentially creating a police chase scene free of charge. The mission wasn't actually playable in 2002, but the script remains inside the game. Interestingly, this concept was reused because in Vice City Stories, there's a mission just like this at the film studio for Rennie, which Vic Vance has to do instead. Apartment 3C in Ocean Beach was originally actually going to be a usable safe house by the looks of it, because in these beta screenshots and in a GameSpy preview from 2002, it indicated that Tommy could take over an apartment after a mission involving killing its owner. In the final game, Apartment 3C is still in the game and instead now looks more like a Scarface Easter egg. But it makes you wonder, is this the property that Tommy could take over early in the game after killing the owner? Most likely, considering what's happened in the bathroom. Also, from this beta screenshot, pretty much proves that that is the apartment they were talking about. A variety of weapons were removed from the final game. These range from a taser, landmine, grenade launcher, a silenced pistol, which only came later in San Andreas, and most interestingly to me, a nail gun, which would have most likely been purchasable from the various hardware stores dotted around the map, and certainly could have given them more of a purpose. I really wish we could see how these would actually perform. It sounds like something straight out of Manhunt. Vice City is also the only GTA game that doesn't have an AK-47. However, the beta version was actually going to include one. However, you can actually still find the models for the AK-47 and the AUG, which was another rifle that was coming in the beta version, in Phil Cassidy's trailer in his junkyard. So the files of the weapons are still there, but you just can't use them. In the Vice City user manual, which came with the PlayStation 2 copy of the game, it states that Vice City's population in 1986 was 1.8 million people. That's quite a lot of people to fit inside this tiny city. The Desert Eagle is seen in the mission The Shootist, and Tommy is even given one to shoot by Phil Cassidy. However, the Desert Eagle never actually made it to the final game, and instead we only have the revolver and the regular pistol. In Moonshine Sagan, Phil Cassidy blows off his right arm in a freak accident while trying to show off in front of Tommy. However, when we later drop him off at the hospital, it's actually his left arm that's missing. And in GTA 3, Phil Cassidy also makes an appearance, where his left arm is missing as well. But that doesn't explain why his right arm is blown off in the cutscene. So whoever worked on that cutscene definitely got themselves into some trouble once Rockstar Games noticed the mistake. Another mistake that's really minor that you probably never noticed is that during the mission where Tommy saves Lance from kidnapping at the junkyard, he then returns Lance back to the hospital. It then reveals what the original name for Starfish Island was going to be, which is instead just Star Island rather than Starfish. Have you ever wondered where Sonny Borelli's office is actually located inside the game? Well, it turns out that the interior for this cutscene is located inside the Ocean View Hotel, right next to where Tommy Vercetti is in this cutscene as well. And that makes sense because the cutscene switches back and forth between these two locations quite quickly, And for a game from 2002 on PlayStation hardware to jump between these locations, this interior had to be somewhere quickly accessible for the game's memory, so it made sense just to put it inside the hotel from the very beginning of the game. Speaking of the opening of the game, it was originally going to be a little bit longer than we got in the final version. You may have noticed in the scene where Ken drops Tommy off at the lawyer's office, the dialogue feels a little bit cut, shall we say.
Domino's has large pizzas for $7.99. Okay, guess I'm carrying out.
Oh, my leaf filter? I just scheduled an appointment online and the inspection.
I'm gonna get off in a little bit.
They explained everything.
Leaf filter technology protect your gutters for good.
Now, my home is protected.
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com. At GovX.com, this is what service looks like. And this, because service wears many uniforms. If you or your spouse...
Yeah, I'll look up some real quick. I'll go look up some real quick.
More than respect.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too, but I'll do that real quick before we begin. I want to do that real quick to see. I'm gonna make some lunch in a little bit. I'm gonna make some lunch in a little bit.
In my face. Go get some sleep. What are you going to do? I'll drop by your office tomorrow and we can start sorting this mess out.
Unfortunately, there's no audio, but it looks like the introduction cutscene was actually going to be a little bit longer and potentially have a little bit more context. And this isn't the only example of a cutscene that was changed in-game. It turns out that during the mission Supply and Demand, where Tommy and Lance go through the canals, there was originally going to be a cutscene of them obtaining the merchandise from the water.
That's Alexa. I'm going to start her up. I think we got some new friends.
There's an in-game company called Spanned Express, similar to FedEx. Rockstar are really clever how they do this and get away with it in almost every GTA game. However, an interesting thing about these Spandex vehicles is that you will never see them being driven anywhere on the map by any NPCs. This mission is the only instance where you can obtain one that's being driven by an NPC on the street, making this vehicle actually a lot rarer than you'd expect. And did you know that in this mission for Diaz, where Lance flies the helicopter, you can see a guy jumping off the bridge? This guy turns out to be a Spandex employee, so I guess their working conditions aren't so great after all. Speaking of rare vehicles, the only time you can obtain a black Voodoo is in the mission to Fit Hit. For some reason, rather than the vehicle's default red color, this mission spawns a special black variant, which is extremely rare and worth keeping. I really like it how the GTA series does this. Certain missions have really special variants of vehicles, and you can't actually make Voodoo black even if you take it to Pay and Spray. So if you come across this in-game, you definitely want to take it. Believe it or not, Tommy never says the F word throughout the entire game. He does swear a lot, but he never uses the F word at all. And from my research, there's only really a few instances where this word appears in-game. And one of them can be found on a poster inside of Phil Cassidy's trailer in the junkyard. Did you ever notice that you can spot a ghost tower far off in the distance towards the airport? You can only really see this if you're on the very first island. As soon as you transition from the first island to the second island, the tower will completely disappear. The reason for this is because when you're on the first island, this tower is a low LOD, so a low poly render in the far distance. Rockstar Games forgot to remove its far away low poly version and instead only removed its actual up close highly detailed version. So that means you can still see this ghost tower way off in the distance. The tiki statues used for in-game collectibles are worth money because they're filled with drugs. They were actually influenced by the TV show Miami Vice, of which Vice City is heavily influenced by. In one episode of Miami Vice called The Milk Run, there were drugs smuggled inside of tiki statues, just like they are in GTA Vice City. In Little Haiti, you can find the Romero the funeral home, which has a window display with loads of tombstones and funeral stuff. But there's a tombstone that